I think you're both very lucky to get 21 years out of a landlord-tenant relationship when we see things deteriorate so quickly and so terribly after 3 months, 6 months, you know?
I agree with you. It is sad to say that the relationship terminated at the very end.
Yeah, I think there were issues on both ends. I also think under normal circumstances, a 60-day notice, it was appropriate here. But I think a 60-day notice when you're moving 23 years of your life is a tremendous burden. You know, moving your home after 23 years is a lot different than kind of picking up after a year or two. But here's what I want to ask. One of the things you provided us with, Mr. Manzanares, was something that, oh gosh, we almost never get, thank you, is your letter, which explained what you were deducting
and that was going very light. Like, for instance, the door frame, the door that was damaged,
right.
That's only the material. That's not getting a carpenter to install it.
Well, and let me tell you, regardless of the legitimacy of the items, which, by the way, I don't find them to be illegitimate, but you could have been here just an hour ago, but you could come in here any day, and we are talking to landlords about not providing the 21-day notice, not providing an itemized list of what they're deducting. You provided us with that. But frankly, at the end of 20 years anyway, it's kind of a whole different analysis on what is normal wear and tear, because after 20 years, part of me would argue that almost everything is normal wear and tear.
Sure.
Even a broken window is probably normal wear and tear after 20 years.
Well, I wasn't asking for carpets. I wasn't asking for paint job or anything like that.
Right, I understand. It's a very modest list.
Yeah.
My question is, you reached a total amount of damages, which you've backed up with, you know, receipts and everything, of $3,300. Mr. Melendez paid a security deposit of $2,200, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Is the $3,300 above and beyond his security deposit?
Well, what's happened here is during the COVID, Mr. Melendez told me he was going through some financial hardship.
Okay.
That he can cover it. So he used his security deposit, the $2,200, going into that month's rent.
Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay, so the security deposit was applied towards 1 month's rent in the middle of the tenancy.
And then he was supposed to come up with an additional $100. I was just helping him out.
I understand.
The big question I was asking him, well, you got two couples living upstairs. The way it was set up is that you had 2 bedrooms and a bath and a kitchen upstairs. Downstairs, you had a 1-bedroom, living room, bathroom, so with a separate entrance. So he was set up comfortably because he had his own front door to go into. He didn't have to be bothered with the folks upstairs.
Right.
So I don't know what he was renting the rooms up with the couples up, but I would think just for the current market, he was living rent-free. And then here comes a brand new car, and he's crying that he's going through some COVID problem, financial hardship.
I understand things deteriorated at the end. I get it. I really do. Those are my questions. I'm going to go ahead and open it up to my colleagues.
One question about the rent. The rent figure is $1,061. Is that outstanding rent of Mr. Melendez, or is that something to do with the squatters?
That's outstanding rent that Mr. Melendez owns.
And you acknowledge that rent?
Outstanding?
Yeah, $1,061.
Yes. I'm taking responsibility because my name is on the lease, or was on the lease.
All right, I understand that. I have nothing further.
I don't either.
No.
Well, thank you both very much. We appreciate it. Please step out, and we'll deliberate on your case. The defendant was quite candid about his responsibilities here. I think his defense that the plaintiff agreed was more aspirational than reality. And he would have liked to have thought that the plaintiff agreed to cover all the costs of the trash removal. But there's absolutely no evidence of that, and he himself has made it clear that he has no evidence to support that defense. So I think he is responsible. The only question I had was that 1,061, but I think it was clarified. And again, the defendant acknowledged that he's the renter.
I agree. I think the vast majority of the damages he's claiming was trash removal. And there's no doubt from these photographs, an overwhelming amount of trash was left, certainly, you know, about $1,500 to haul. And other than that, you know, very little is not normal wear and tear after 22 years. And I think the plaintiff's very modest several $100s of true damage reflects that.
I was going to say that. If he asked for the court's maximum of $5,000, I'd have been inclined to give him that.
Yeah.
So I think that the amounts that he's requesting is fair. So
yeah. It's modest, it's fair, and he had already given up the security deposit to help the defendant with rent 1 month, so he's entitled to the full amount that he's seeking.
All right, we have a verdict.
We do.
And it's unanimous.